Hey guys, have you ever met someone who portrays themselves as one thing, but in reality, they're something completely different? We've all been there, allowing ourselves to trust someone who talks about love and loyalty and support, but then stabs you in the back before asking you why you are bleeding. Blonde bombshell and American icon Marilyn Monroe said it best.
If you're gonna be two-faced, at least make one of those faces pretty.
Some of the most poisonous people come disguised as friends and family. So when you discover their true colors, you simply have to delete them from your life. Unfortunately, tonight's victim never learned this lesson, trusting her two-faced killer as he went behind her back to dig her grave.
Welcome to this episode of Talk Murder to Me, live for the first time from Jen's house.
El Casa? No, that's wrong. It's La Casa. Dig Hollins.
It's like the old days for us recording. It's great.
And we had a pretty cool hint tonight, which was psychic, right?
Yep, psychic or medium, John said.
And what's the name of this drink again? The Spirit Summoner?
Yes, the Spirit Summoner, which is a very creative cocktail of vodka and sour apple liqueur. Appletini!
Oh,
yes.
It's in a Bugs Bunny cup.
That is Tom from Tom and Jerry. So
It tastes like an apple Jolly Rancher.
All right, so where are we going and who are we killing? Jen, since we're at your house.
Oh, okay. I think that we're going to New York and that someone is killed and they use a psychic to try and find the body.
Are you saying New York because of the Long Island medium?
I think subconsciously maybe.
Teresa Caputo, right? That's her.
Yeah. And she does tour. I think she came to Charleston recently.
Okay. So I think it's 1987. We've been forgetting to add years. I'm going to say it's 1987 and we're going to Louisiana and we are going to talk about like a voodoo spirit type murder and like someone's haunting someone.
So we're not doing the Long Island medium, but we are going to New Jersey, and there's a medium up there that we're going to be talking about, just really briefly.
Have you guys ever gone to see Medium before?
No.
I have. So my family had gone to Medium, and after my cousin had passed away, and there was one particular lady who they, I think, saw a couple of times. It's been a long time. It's been since I was a junior in high school, so I would have been like 16-ish, 17-ish. So she had said that she like could feel his presence and also my grandfather's presence and would like kind of describe them physically, which was pretty crazy. I think I believe it. I don't know.
One of my friends that I worked with at one of the BJ's back in Massachusetts, she's a medium. She calls herself gifted. She doesn't call herself a psychic, but she has actually helped find bodies and stuff.
Oh, come on. Y'all don't believe in that crap. Every true crime book that I read, they always get a psychic involved, and they're always wrong. 100% of the time, they're wrong.
I mean,
come on, man. Y'all really believe in that?
Yeah, well, my friend was right, though.
Well, what case is that?
I don't know. It was a long time ago. But I can tell you that she says that the axe that Lizzie Borden used is in the rafters of the attic of the Lizzie Borden house.
somebody should go check that out now.
Surprise shots. Surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise.
Was that bubblegum?
No, that was 99 bananas.
It does taste like bubble gum.
Well, what flavor? 99 banana?
Yeah.
It tastes like that super
I was
bubble.
like, 99 Bananas is is the name of the brand.
It tastes like that super bubble that you can
Yeah, it does.
that you put in your mouth and start chewing, and it goes instantly tasteless in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, we used to chew that in the dugout at softball. It was my least favorite, but I did like the
And then you
Bubbaloo
put
with
it
the
under the
strawberry
bleacher seat.
inside.
What was the one with the jokes? Bazooka?
Yes,
Bazooka.
bazooka.
And then there was
Double Bubble?
double bubble, and
The one that you get from Gum Pops?
there was also those fake
Blow
cigarettes,
Pops.
the
And
fake cigarettes.
In Big League Chew, the one that was like strips of gum that was supposed to be like the kids' version of dip, you know?
All right, tonight we're going to Freehold, New Jersey. Never been, don't really want to go, but we're going to start with a 911 call.
Sweet, I love those.
911, where's your emergency?
County, this is Hal with a 911 transfer. I have Sharlene on the line. She is in Freehold at number 14, Route 33. She'd like to report her 25-year-old daughter as missing.
Okay, Charlene, you there?
Yes.
Alrighty. So, when did your daughter go missing?
She left me at 10 o'clock last night. She was going back to her house, back to my mom's house where she's staying. And I told her to text me or call me when she got home, and nothing. And I've been calling and texting her all day. I went over there at 4 o'clock, and her car was there, but she was supposed to be at work from 9 to 6. I went back there again, like around 8, 9 o'clock, and I found her phone, which she never goes anywhere without her phone, and I can't get into her phone. I can't remember her password, but I was able to see one of her notifications, and her job text her saying, "You didn't show up for work today. Is everything okay?" And we still haven't heard from her. She's still not home.
Okay, what's her name?
Stephanie
And last name?
Parze, P as in Peter, A-R-Z-E.
So was her car in front of her mom's house? Is that right?
Her car was in front of her mom's house, so her grandma's house, which from what I saw, she passed away in 2018. But Stephanie Parze, P-A-R-Z-E, was staying at her grandma's house. That's where she lived.
Got
and
it.
I think she lived there by herself because after her grandmother passed, from what I read.
So what year is this, 2019?
Yeah, this is 2019.
Wow, fairly recent case. Okay.
Yeah, this is October 30th, 2019. Now, this right here is Stephanie Parze. If you want to describe her for us.
She looks like she's in her teens still.
What?
You don't think so?
No, I'd say in her mid-20s.
Yeah, she's 25.
Oh, really? She looks really young.
Well, that's good. She's also a cosmetologist, so, the makeup probably makes her look young.
Yeah, maybe.
So if you heard mom talking to the 911, the mother saw her daughter. Now, the mother's name is Sharlene. They had all went to a psychic that evening. And this is
Before she disappeared.
Yeah, before she disappeared.
Wow, she didn't see that coming.
Yeah, it's one of those big, like the New Jersey, Long Island psychics where there's like 300 people and she kind of puts on a show.
Yeah, I've been to one of those. It wasn't in Long Island, it was in Massachusetts. And it was like with, there was probably like 200 people there. And she like calls out, the spirits that she's feeling, that are calling out to her.
Yeah.
My mom went to one of those shortly after my grandmother died, and I don't remember if she was picked on or not, but I do remember her going, and it was like a big deal, like, because it's so taboo in the Catholic Church. So, like, I think my dad and I was kind of like a little like, why are you going to that, but
it's a way of closure for some people. So did they just recently lose somebody? Was it the grandmother?
Yeah, the grandmother,
Okay.
I believe. I don't know if that's why they went to the psychic, but the psychic, her name is Cindy Kaza, and she's legit because she has black hair, red lipstick, and she's sitting on a green couch. That's her right there. So she's kind of famous in New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
This is from Cindy's webpage.
She kind of looks like the progressive girl.
Oh, Flo. I think I got a new celebrity crush here.
Flo made a comeback, just so you know, that she's in a new commercial with Jamie.
Cindy has been extremely intuitive since her very early childhood. At the age of 10, she had her first memorable experience with a spirit. Days after losing a childhood friend in a fatal car accident, Cindy woke up in the middle of the night to see her friend standing next to her bed.
Creepy.
Oh my God, I'd be like, what the fuck? Get the shit out of here, man. I'm trying to sleep. What the fuck?
That would not be my reaction. I would have peed my pants.
Probably would have cried.
I would have been like, yo, can you go get me some...
Can I get a dip cone?
Yeah, can you go get me one of those yogurt cups from the fridge?
Definitely would have turned around and like put the covers over my head and just cried.
At the time, she dismissed this experience and convinced herself it was just a dream. It wasn't until her early 20s that she realized she was having a psychic and mediumistic experience all along. During this, quote, awakening, she began searching for answers and reasons for her experiences and became aware of her multifaceted abilities at a premium price. As a psychic medium, I just threw that one word in there.
Yeah, I figured as much.
She began training not only yada, 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 she's psychic. All right, anyway, so they went to see her, and the mother says goodnight to the daughter. She lives about 10 miles away in the grandmother's house. Now, the mother is expecting a text from her. You know, I'm home or whatever. But you know how kids can be. I know she's 25, but maybe she forgot. Either way, in the morning when she doesn't show up for work, her mother gets really concerned. The mother gets to the house. She is still calling frantically. The daughter's nowhere in the house. Her car, her white Hyundai Sonata is sitting outside in the parking space where it always is. Her phone is in the house, which the mother finds. She
Unusual.
She tried to do the find the phone thing, and it wasn't picking up. So she did. There's this thing on Apple where you can make the phone ring really loud with like an alarm, like she did that, and the phone was actually in the couch. Like on the couch, but kind of like in the cushions.
The cushions,
yeah. So it was like she was sitting there, and when you're watching Netflix and chilling, you know, and then your phone slides in the cushion.
I tried using the Find My Phone service once, but it didn't work because my phone was in the ocean.
All right, Sharlene Parze, last seen 10 p.m. She leaves her sister's house, says goodbye to her mom, and the kiss and everything. She was wearing a V-neck, burgundy blue jeans, burgundy sweater. Her phone, car, purse, and shoes were in the house. Now, the family actually saw a Snapchat of her driving home, which I don't know why your family would be on your Snapchat, but that was the last time they seen her. And she was supposed to go to work at 9 a.m. Now, it's actually really sad. This story, the father will really break your heart because it really gets to you, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. But
tearjerker.
Huh?
Tearjerker?
Yeah, oh yeah. But a quote from the mother, quote, "And we will see you soon and love you so much." And then the father in an interview said, quote, "Think about what Daddy taught you. Do what I told you." And then he starts breaking down crying. It's actually really sad. Stephanie was the oldest of 4 sisters. Her father said that she's a, quote, tough kid. The father, 54-year-old Edward Parze, says also, quote, "She's independent. She always has to have the last word, but she's caring and she loved children." In fact, she was actually babysitting that morning. Now, she is a cosmetologist and everything else, but I'm going to kind of tell you why she had to take a hiatus on that, and now she's a babysitter. So if this is your first episode, I put all my sources, all my pictures and everything else, videos, everything you need for this case on talkmurder.com. So be sure, if you're not driving, go there and you can follow along with us tonight. For school, she graduated from Freehold Township High School, where she was the catcher on the softball team. She pursued art and cosmetology. She was a wax specialist at European Wax Center in Freehold Township and a pro makeup artist at LA Artistry in Jackson.
I've been to a European wax place. They have them around here. There's one in Mount
Yeah.
Pleasant.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never
really?
been to one.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Are they?
Yeah, it was like $20 for my eyebrows.
Did you get a Brazilian?
Absolutely not.
That's where they do your booty hole.
They do your booty hole.
I know, it felt so good. Because then they blew on it like ever so slightly.
What? Nope.
That sounds like one of those happy ending salons, actually, John.
But if you go through her Facebook in August, and I'll put some of the pictures on talkmurder.com, she got pneumonia from vaping.
Oh, wow.
I know. I'd never seen it. And you can see she has a couple pictures in the emergency room.
I
She's
wonder
getting
if
IVs and everything
that's
else.
like that lung syndrome.
I don't know.
Or related to it.
But there you go, guys. Do not vape. It's bad for you. Just smoke cigarettes. No.
No.
No, we legitimately had a couple of assemblies last year about vaping, and they came to the faculty meeting. They're like, these are the devices students will use to vape, but they have them shaped like flash drives, like pens.
There was something I was watching. I'm pretty sure it was the docuseries Unwell on Netflix, and they talk about vaping and how, yes, it is still better than smoking, but it is still incredibly addictive. And it talked about the Juul and all the kids. And I mean, you see all these kids interviewed and they have just no idea all the nicotine that they're just shooting up. It's crazy.
Well, I bought a Juul a couple years ago and I was like, oh yeah, because nicotine, that'll help me lose weight. And then I smoked it twice and I was like, this is stupid. Why'd I waste my money on that? So I sent it to my sister.
So where is Stephanie Parze? The car is in the driveway. Her phone, which I don't know one female on this planet that doesn't have her phone with her right now.
Correct. Although mine's in the kitchen.
White.
Okay. And she wasn't saying anything about, going somewhere, over the weekend, like maybe going out for a Halloween thing.
No, and she had my daughter has no money right now, and she had started a job 2 weeks ago, and they were told her that they were going to, pay her at the end of the month. So she would actually have gotten her first paycheck either today or tomorrow. And, she has not, wouldn't miss work. She's a nanny. She's taking care of a little girl.
So she's broke. What I'm trying to say, guys, is she vanishes from her house. One really interesting thing is the family before this happened was that family that you have, not in every neighborhood, but the ones that put up Christmas lights. This is actually
How did I know you were going to say Christmas lights?
This is their Christmas lights.
It's like a winter wonderland.
I like it. It's beautiful.
You would never do that for our house.
Oh, hell no, man. I bet their energy bill is like $1 billion.
That's like, I mean, that guy that came by today, he was like, you really need me to, like, he was trying to sell me to get some lawn services. He's like, I can cut your grass, I can trim this, I can do this. When can I start? And I'm like, I need to figure out how much I can afford monthly. Yeah. Like, he was like trying to sell me hard. And meanwhile,
you can start, but I ain't gonna pay you.
Yeah. Don't think I'll ever be that excited about Christmas. I love Christmas, but I'll do like one row of lights on the outside. Maybe. We'll see if I get to it this year. I'll be lucky if I get a tree.
The father, he holds off the designs this year until his daughter is found. That's what he says.
So when do they normally put their lights up? Because she's
around
missing
this time. Yeah, around this time.
Around Halloween? Too soon.
Right. No, this was October 30th.
Yeah.
So she's missing November 1st.
Too soon.
What do you mean too soon?
Oh my God, you get mad at me for doing...
It probably takes 2 weeks to put this crap up.
I'm just saying, that's still before Thanksgiving.
The lights are set up now and usually turn on the day after Halloween. But Mr. Parze has been adamant that the lights will never turn on again until Stephanie is found. Driving by the house and seeing all the dark Christmas lights is crushing. They just erected one single illuminated sign that says, quote, Stephanie, come home. Aww. The dad will break your heart. I'm not going to show you the dad's video. But
so, question, did they not take down all the lights? Like, still, like, if I drive by today, because this is last October, so last year was the first Christmas.
He said if my daughter's found, so I don't know, is she found?
But he's talking about not lighting them. Did he keep them up or did he take them down?
No, all right, that's a good question. Completely unrelated to anything. But
but we must know, was Rudolph still in the front lawn?
From what I heard, from what I saw, they leave them up all year and just make little changes the next year.
They leave them up
That's
all
what
year?
I read, but I'm not sure. That's what I read,
This would be like the next month will be the 1 year anniversary, correct?
You know what I heard?
Yeah.
Saw this was back a couple months ago. I saw somewhere someone was so bored during the pandemic. This was early on that they neatly wrapped up all of the exterior Christmas lights of their neighbor and just put them neatly on their front porch. This was in March, clearly saying it's time to put them down.
No. Oh, they did it to someone else's house?
Yeah. They're it's time. Breaking new info in the disappearance of Sharlene Parze. Sources confirm there is a person of interest in this case, and cell phone records indicate he was in the woods on Staten Island around 3 a.m. the night she disappeared.
So police, they find out that Sharlene wasn't alone that night when she got home. She actually had a visitor over. And this was also caught on camera, the neighbor's home cam. But this guy, which I'm talking about in a minute, he spent 6 hours in a, quote, heavily wooded area in Richmond Valley. Okay? And I looked up, if you go to Google and type in, how long does it take to dig a grave?
Oh, God. I'm so glad that's in your Google history.
Shit.
I'm glad that you didn't look it up while you were here.
But he's in Staten Island. This
Yeah.
This person of interest.
Yeah.
That is not New Jersey.
Yeah. So it's cross state lines. But this guy did come over. It's right on the state line.
Also, it's an island.
I know, but I'm gonna get to him in a second. Cell phone records show he's a person of interest. He was in the Long Pond Park 6 hours, and this is them searching the car, or this is them searching the area. Now, this is kind of crazy. This is why you don't date people on the internet.
I also know that she started going on the dating page on Facebook and was talking to a couple guys.
Okay.
So I don't know whether also but she would never meet
Facebook
somebody
has a
in the
dating
morning
page.
because she's not a morning person.
Yes,
She had to be at
it's
work
a
at 9
fairly new
o'clock.
development.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, if this guy John slept over last night and she was getting ready for work, why would her phone be on the side of the
She
couch?
sounds like your mom,
Right.
doesn't she?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, she does.
Instead of in the
She
bedroom
sounds
where
like
she
your
gets
My
ready.
mom does not have an accent.
I know, but
She would only be sitting there if she was sitting
No.
watching TV.
He's not from New Jersey.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
so
not talking
I don't,
about the accent.
whether he's just saying
My
he
mom
really
does not
slept
have an
over and
accent.
has, saw her this
No,
morning.
if
Yeah,
anything,
I don't
it's
know.
more of a Boston accent.
Tell me, what do you think about this hunk right here?
Uh-oh. Are you about to show me Pauly D?
No, Pauly D's from Johnston, Rhode Island.
Yeah, I am about to show you Pauly D.
Who is the
That's-
one from Staten Island?
Mike, the situation.
Ah.
Or Vinny, one of the.
This
or
is
Ronnie.
This is the
Ronnie.
situation. What was that? What situation? I'm talking about Vinny.
Jersey
Or-
Shore. Jersey Shore.
Huh? No, I'm talking
GTL.
about. What was
Jim
the
Tan Laundry.
What is the one you said, Mike?
The situation?
No,
Pauly D.
What situation?
Pauly D.
Pauly D. This is Pauly D. What are you talking about? Situation? I don't know what you're talking about.
He was also on Jersey Shore.
What?
The guy's name is Mike, but his nickname is the situation because of his abs. He has a 12-pack, so he calls
His
it the
abs are
situation.
the situation.
Oh,
yeah.
what? His name is the situation?
Yes.
Have you not seen Jersey Shore?
What the fuck?
This was so big freshman year of college.
So what? Describe this guy for us. This is
A Guido.
situation.
He is a little bit of a Guido.
What's a Guido?
A Guido.
An Italian.
He's a Vinny.
A situation.
Vinny.
He's a situation. This guy is a fucking situation. I'll tell you that right now. This guy's a piece of situation.
He looks a little bit like who is the one that was actually cute from the show?
Vinny?
Yeah.
John Perry. All right, this guy. Well, I mean, you didn't tell me. You didn't describe him. You just.
Okay. Well, show me the picture again. I'll describe him. Okay, so he's Italian, tan, dark hair.
Does he do laundry?
He probably GTLs.
He knew that reference.
Possibly a pure steer somewhere.
He's got a nice lineup.
All right, this is John D. Ozbilgen. Ozbilgen.
That's not
29-year-old stockbroker from Staten Island.
Staten
Broker's
Island.
firm. He dated Parze, but this is, and I got an interview from one of Stephanie's friends that said this guy never came around because Stephanie didn't want to bring this guy around, and you'll see why. They actually knew that this guy was at Stephanie's house that night, And he claims that, well, this is what he told Stephanie's mom anyway, that he woke up in the morning there and she went to work. But that's not true because her car's there.
And also someone at her job texted saying you weren't here.
Yeah, asking if she was okay.
He lives in Kings Mountain Boulevard. Now, he is well known to the police because, and this is from the Staten Island Live page, the headline is 8 young Staten Islanders arrested after month-long investigation into sale of prescription drugs. This dude, John Ozbilgen, was selling all kinds of stuff, including illegal steroids, Adderall pills, Suboxone. And this was actually when he was 19 years old. So this guy right now is 29. This is 10 years old. But he was well known because this was a huge arrest that the Staten Island police made. It was a whole drug thing, like kind of like The Wire. I think they based the show The Wire on this guy.
No. That's in Baltimore, hun.
So they go to his house to conduct a search warrant, basically looking for information, the whereabouts of Stephanie. Where is Stephanie? We know you were with her. We know you spent 6 hours in the park for some reason. They look through his cell phone and they don't find anything about the whereabouts of Stephanie, but they do find something else. Now, this is from the Asbury Park Press, November 8th, 2019. If you want to read the headline on this.
Freehold Township missing woman. Man linked to Stephanie Parze charged with child pornography.
Wow, sounds like a real winner.
Yeah, so 29-year-old, he was arrested at his home in Kings Mountain Boulevard. He was arrested for child pornography. So he had images of children and lewd sexual acts on his phone. And it wasn't a felony because he had under 1,000 files.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there was a minimum.
Yeah, the minimum's 1,000 and then it goes to a felony.
Oh,
I know, right? Isn't that bullshit? It depends on what state you're in.
So you could literally have 999 pornographic images of children and not be considered a felon.
Hey, I'm just telling you what I'm reading, man. I don't know what you want from me.
That doesn't
That's
sound
crazy.
right. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, he only spent 11 days in jail, so...
What?
So
Poor
there you
shit.
go. All right, Chris Webster, the spokesman for the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office, said that at the scene of John's arrest, quote, was completely unrelated to the disappearance of Stephanie Parze. John Ozbilgen is charged with 1 count of possession of child pornography, a quantity of files under 1,000. Stephanie's father didn't know this guy at all, even though he's all over her Facebook.
How long had they been dating?
I think this is I'm feeling a little...
One-hit wonder?
No. This is like I'm feeling kind of spicy tonight type of shit.
I'm lonely.
Let me call
I'm
John.
lonely.
Like Tinder?
Yeah. All right, this guy was a licensed stockbroker, and he was fired by his financial group, the Woodstock Financial Group, on October 31st. But he plans to seek new employment. So he spent 11 days in jail, even though he definitely killed this girl, and then the judge let him out. And you know what he had to do? Because he was on probation. He would be good as long as he phoned in twice a month, and he was also barred from using the internet or any drugs. Now, this is the courtroom proceeding about this guy. Go to talkmore.com to see this guy.
Not using the internet is really hard.
This guy's a real piece of situation here.
During the course of the missing persons investigation, law enforcement was able to determine that this defendant was the on-again, off-again boyfriend of Stephanie Parze. We further learned that there was a pending domestic violence case from September 23rd of 2019 involving Ms. Parze, in which the defendant was alleged to have struck Stephanie Parze on the head and threatened her before she took off running down the street. Law enforcement learned that Stephanie told others she was in fear for her life with the defendant, who she continued to have contact with after that incident. Detectives learned that this defendant was texting and Facebook messaging Stephanie Parze the night before her disappearance, and again referring to State's Exhibit 5. Those messages spanned just over 9 minutes long. There were 10 unanswered messages, and concluding with calling Stephanie Parze a and telling her that she always has to make their relationship suck.
Does he have like a nervous tick or something?
No, so I looked it up. I was like, why is this guy blinking so much? Apparently, when you get stressed, it's like a defensive mechanism to blink a lot.
Interesting. I shake.
This guy, if you see this video, this guy's like he's like having a seizure or something.
I like that you paused to demonstrate to our listeners the blinking, but they can't hear you. So
They can hear you. They just can't see you.
Oh, right.
No, and apparently, like her so-called ex-boyfriend there's a domestic violence thing going on in court, and my one daughter reached out to him to see whether or not he had seen her, and he said that he saw her last night. He stayed there, and she was getting ready for work this morning, and has not heard from her since all day.
So Stephanie calls the police on this guy, John, in June and September, reporting that he was abusing her. The first incident in Freehold Township is when John, I'm just going to call him John Oz because I can't say his last name, is when John Oz was accused of, quote, grabbing her face, pulling her hair, and dragging her by her hair, causing minor injury and pain. The second report, 3 months later, he was striking the victim once and hitting her hand, causing injury to her thumb and thumbnail, then striking the victim a second time, making contact with the side of her head using his back hand. And he was arrested in both times for this domestic abuse. And this is a quote from the prosecutor. Quote, authorities got a warrant to search his cell phone and uncovered child pornography, including images involving kids as young as 3 years old being sexually abused.
No.
And he was arrested November 8th for that crime. The judge let him go, man.
What?
The judge let him go because in New Jersey, if you're not a danger to society, even
he's
though
a danger
he's a
to
fucking
society.
woman abuser and he's got 3-year-old kids on his cell phone getting sexually abused, the judge lets him go after 11 days. I think he served his time. What do y'all think?
I think he's about to get what's coming to him.
This is from the Asbury Park Press. If you want to read this, this is a former girlfriend. This isn't Stephanie, but someone as a character witness to John Oz.
He would choke me. Former girlfriend says she fears he killed Sharlene Parze.
Reading into that paper a little further, a former girlfriend of John Oz said he strangled her to the point of unconsciousness multiple times during rough sex. She said she still believes he is responsible for Stephanie's disappearance. There were multiple occasions that she says that John Oz was violent, choking her, hitting her, and even holding a knife to her. The choking, the ex-girlfriend said, was a common act that happened consensually during sex, but led to abuse during heated arguments. Quote, there were just so many times where he would choke me and I would go unconscious.
Jeez.
In an exclusive interview with the Asbury Park Press, she said she believes Parze was choked to death. Quote, I think it was either during sex or during an argument that he most likely choked her and meant for her to go unconscious for a few seconds, the former girlfriend said.
What a guy.
John Oz did have scratches around his neck when he went to court. So they let this guy go, man. Ugh. Anyway, at the detention hearing for John Oz, his child porn charges, investigators observed marks around his neck. This is from his former girlfriend. Quote, I've seen him have sex scratch marks. I've given them to him. I mean, why would you come out and say this shit?
I don't know.
The detective was like, I'm going to need to get your number. All right. This one was much different, she said. I actually went up to him and said, John, that's not from sex. That's really bad. His response, rough night. Don't ask. He told me he had a rough night and that the cops were going to be contacting me and not to say anything bad about him, she said. But she tells the cops that, quote, he buys illegal steroids. He stalked and an ex-girlfriend recently. He hits girls. He drives recklessly. I thought it could have been anything.
Well, that doesn't sound sketchy at all. Like, don't ask about my rough night. Also, if the cops tell you that they need to know some information, only good things. Okay, thanks.
This is from John Oz in a Facebook group called Mike. The
situation?
No, but the Facebook group name is really funny. The Facebook group, private group, is called My Couch Pulls Out, but I Don't.
Oh my God, that's amazing. But I don't know how I feel about that. Why don't you pull out? Maybe you should. I don't know.
So not only do you not pull out, but you also sleep on a couch that pulls out. That's your bed. Like,
I thought that was
Mom's
funny.
basement?
Well, he's talking about he's ejaculating.
Oh, we got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
we understand. Thank
I
you.
was just making sure. But he posted this meme. This was after he's released from his long prison sentence for having 3-year-old child porn on his phone of 11 days. This is what he posts in that group. If you
It's
wanna,
an Arthur meme.
It's an Arthur meme. If you want to read that, Jen.
It's a picture of Arthur digging a hole, and it says, the caption says, when she says, "Choke me, daddy," and you get carried away, and now she's dead. And his caption above that says, "You win some, you lose some," with a shrugging emoji.
Oh my God. That's
Holy
so
fuck.
fucking bad.
He also posted text messages of that night that she gets murdered by him. So it was October 30th.
That he murders her, you mean? Yeah, that she gets murdered by him.
That she
Never
gets
mind.
murdered, yeah. It's exactly. So he posts this, and the caption line is, "How selfish is this girl?"
Whoa. I don't want to do anything if you come. I want to watch TV and go to sleep. I'm exhausted. Last night wore me out too much.
That sounds horrible.
What do you mean? Sounds normal to me.
You know, I hate that.
I don't care. I hate that you want it every day and you don't give me a break.
All right, so did this guy get arrested?
Please, dear God, tell me so.
I say probably not.
All right, if you want to read this headline, this is from the New York Post from November 22nd, 2019. This is actually the breaking news from this story.
John Ozbilgen, ex-boyfriend of missing New Jersey woman Sharlene Parze, found dead. What?
Did he die by suicide?
Yeah. So this is from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office. Breaking. Medical examiner has determined the cause and manner of death for John Oz was a suicide by hanging. Oz was found deceased at his Freehold Township home this morning. Oz was recently released from jail after being charged with possession of child pornography. Investigation remains active. More information will be released as it becomes available. He didn't leave the location of Stephanie's body, so they're still searching for her. They found her now, but at this point they were still searching for her. If you want to read this is his suicide note written by a monkey having a seizure.
Dear Mom, Dad, Sal, Sammy, sorry about all this craziness. I've been miserable for so long now. I had enough. Thanks for everything. I can't do life in prison. Most of the stuff you will hear is true, except the child porn. I would never do that. Use the pics with me and blank for the funeral. That was the only time in my life where I was truly happy. I want blank to help plan everything with you. Tell her I'm sorry and I love her. She was so good to me and we had an amazing life. I fucked it up. She only did good for me. I dug myself in a deep hole. This is the only choice. I love you guys. With a smiley face.
So he kills himself at his home. Now he gets the chance to write a goodbye message, but Stephanie never did.
I think that's so strange that he closed it with a smiley face.
I know, right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's really weird.
I love you guys, smiley face. And then he's like,
With like 2 exclamation points too.
I know.
Also, I feel like hanging yourself is a very uncommon way to go.
I mean, honestly, if you look at this guy, he's on steroids. You can tell. You know what he looks like? Have you ever seen The Boiler Room? No. I mean, he's a stockbroker. He's like one of those guys that just kind of...
Like one of the guys from the penny stock days of Wolf of Wall Street?
Like a boiler room, though, where they just sit in this room and just pump and dump these penny stocks.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street shit.
Yeah, but that was more classy,
but from like when he was in... Before it was Stratton and whatever.
Yeah, but that wasn't really a boiler room. You got to watch that movie.
I still haven't seen the whole thing.
It's called The Boiler Room.
Wolf of Wall Street is so good.
Let's wrap this up. This from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office from January 27th.
It is with great sadness we announce that Stephanie Parze's remains were recovered yesterday near Route 9 in Old Bridge. The Middlesex County confirmed her identity this morning. Our office will hold a brief press conference later today regarding this matter. We wish to extend our thanks to our partners, the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office and the Old Bridge Township Police Department, for their work on this investigation. We also want to thank the public for your remarkable efforts in trying to find Stephanie for the past few months. May God bless Stephanie and her family during this terribly difficult time.
All right. Well, that's the story, man. I mean, that's how it ended and everything. Obviously, no one's going to prison because the guy killed himself, but pretty cut and dry there. It's really sad. The really sad thing about this is the father. If you go and watch an interview with the father, it'd definitely make you cry because he lost his baby. You can definitely tell. But that's all the information on the Stephanie Parze case. Any questions? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, hit that subscribe button on whatever podcasting app you use. And my name is John. I'm here with Jen and Nicole, and until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.